the quiet. Hey y'all, I'm James Wright and welcome to my shop. It has been another fun week and been getting a lot of things done, so let's jump into it. Videos from this last week, I did a video on making this layout square. This is actually a lot of fun and a good one to just kind of play with, and I did some carving into it. I actually did this with a friend from Lancaster, Pennsylvania. One of the viewers on the show, and got the chance to go to his shop and make this out. So if you want to see that video, leave a link over here. The second video for the week was actually in making this seat that I made a while ago, and I've been holding on to the video footage and finally got a chance to release it. But it's a curved seat designed for putting infants in to take baby pictures. Really kind of a cool little thing. It wasn't my normal fare. I ended up painting it because that's what the person who traded me for it wanted. So yeah, it was a little fun detour of something different. So if you want to see that, go look over there. Also this week, I hit 20,000 subscribers, which is just, it's mind-blowing. Really, absolutely mind-blowing. And I just want to say a huge thank you to that. Wow. So I'm doing a giveaway for it, and I'm giving away over $1,000 worth of prizes from American Greenlight with LEDs, a card scrapers, a carving set, as well as a router plane that I'm going to be making here soon. So if you want to see one of those videos, you can go look over here and see what you can win and how to do it. So this next week, I'm going to have the next episode in the dresser build. So the dresser build number 7, and this will be all about the drawers. How were the drawers shaped, dovetailed, how were the bottoms put together, how were they fitted, what are some of the other things I had to do. So I'm really looking forward to having that video out. So that'll be the 7th edition of a video series that has been dragging on for well over a year now. Yay! So I only have a couple more videos to do on that. The next thing is going to be a lot of the detail thing, trimming up all the through tendons, cleaning it up, getting it prepped for finishing, putting on the hardware, making the top. I'm thinking about doing some carving in the top. I'm not quite sure what I want to do in there yet. I've been talking with my wife, and we will see. So yeah, that's coming along. Hopefully that dresser will be done here mid to late April. So yeah! Also this next week, I'm not quite sure what the second video will be, but I don't know, I'll figure something out. It'll probably be something a little bit similar, as I'm going to be getting ready to go down to Georgia, down to the Atlanta Woodworking Show. So if any of you are going to be anywhere near that at all, you've got to come to this. There'll be like 70 YouTubers out there, I think almost 80 now, and it'll be a big brouhaha where you can get to meet all of your favorite YouTube faces. Then after that, I'm going to be going up to Asheville, North Carolina, and we're going to be going to the Asheville Hardware Store, which is a seriously cool place. I'm really looking forward to it. It's been on my list for a little while here. And we're going to be doing a meetup there with Johnny, Zach, and myself from the Crafted podcast. So that is going to be a lot of fun. Really looking forward to that. So yeah, if you're going to be anywhere near North Carolina and want to swing by for that meetup, or down in Atlanta, Georgia, booyah, I'm looking forward to meeting you and looking forward to seeing you. I've got a few stickers to hand out if you are interested in that thing. So yeah, let's look forward. Speaking of new things, a longtime friend of mine and longtime supporter of the channel, Donnie Carter, just started a new podcast called The Green Woodworker. A really cool podcast about, about green woodworking, but also about learning woodworking and getting into it. In other words, the green horn, the person who's kind of new to something. And I thought it was a fantastic concept for a podcast. So I'll leave a link to that down in the description below, and definitely go check that out. So it's time again for another Patreon giveaway of the month, and this month I'm actually going to be giving away this Stanley No. 0 24-inch level, and this is a beautiful old level, and I really like these. I did a restoration on this a while ago, cleaned up the brass and cleaned up the wood, adjusted some things out, and it is once more a very functional working level, and one I really am proud of. And so I'm looking forward to actually giving this away and making one of the patrons on Patreon happy owner of it. So if you're interested in that, you can find out more about Patreon in the link down below. The Patreon question of the week comes from Brandon Barber, and he asks, how do you go about making sure that your planes stay flat? How often do you check them, and how do you actually check that they are flat? And when you do, how do you re-flatten them? And to be honest, with most metal planes, I never check if they're flat. I mean, maybe once every 2 to 3 years. It takes a ton of work to take one of those out of flat, at least to the point where it's going to cause a lot of problem. Now, if you're talking about like a number 5, a jack plane, or your general all-purpose planes, if they're out of flat by, a hundredth of an inch, it's really not going to cause that much difference. And now, if you're talking about your general all-purpose planes like your number 5 and your things for just taking heavy chunks off, if they're out of flat by several thousandths, it's really not going to cause any problem. You will never notice the difference in them, and oh well. Now, for a smoothing plane, I like to keep it really darn flat. But even then, it takes years for that to come out. If it's a wooden body, it's something I might check once a year or so. For a jointer, I do like it to be flat, but I'm not as terribly picky about it. I make sure that it's flat at the mouth, at the heel, and the toe. And then if it's a long jointer, between the mouth and the heel, I like to make sure there's at least one spot in there where it's nice and flat. But even then, I'm not terribly picky on it. When I do flatten them, I get a belt sander. I have where I get 30 grit belts, really, really extremely coarse stuff. And I'll cut the belt in half and lay it out flat on a piece of glass, and then use that so I can run the plane all the way up and down that sander. Starting at 30 grit, just a few passes, you can make scratches all the way across the plane, and then I'll take it to like an 80 grit, and then like 120, and then a 200, and then a 400 for my very last one to kind of polish out the bottom. Anything more than 400 and you're just wasting your time, because it's going to get scratched up the moment it goes into the wood, so that's not a huge concern for me. So flatness is something that people really overthink. And it's not something you need to worry about that much. There are very few instances where flat is really important. When you're taking an extremely fine shaving, or when you're actually doing finished flattening work like with a jointer, that's when it's really important. This week I did have a viewer project submitted from Pepe Perez Rivero. I believe I'm saying that correctly. He made a Robo Bench that I think is fantastic. I really did a bang-up job on it. I am just blown away. Split top Robo with the movable divider. Awesome job. I am loving how that came out, and really looking forward to seeing it in use in the future. If you have a project you'd like to see on the channel, please send me pictures and some information about it, and I'd love to put it up. Also, I'm looking forward to building my own bench here soon, and as soon as I finish the dresser, that's probably going to be my next project, as long as I can get the things I need to make it happen. So we will see how that goes. But yeah, this has been a very fun week and a lot of things going on. I'm looking forward to meeting any of you down in Atlanta or Asheville, North Carolina. It is going to be a blast down there. And looking forward to finishing up the dresser here soon. So a lot of fun things coming up on the horizon, and we'll see how that goes. But until next time, I hope you liked this video. If you did, please hit like and go ahead and smash the subscribe button over here. I do want to say an incredible thank you to the patrons on Patreon. If you'd like to find out how you can win prizes, you can click the link right over here. Also, if you like this video, feel free to check out one of my others. You might find something you like there. And until next time, have a wonderful day.